What is up? Welcome to the highest quality news channel on YouTube, Hebry News. I am your dictation expert, Henry, and today I will be covering the most important breaking news pertaining to the most recent episode of the H3 podcast titled Green Screen Tournament After Dark number 96. So now, without any further waiting or stalling or waiting or ado, let's jump right into what happened last Friday. First and foremost, Ethan announced that they will be holding their green screen contest at the end of the video. If you've somehow missed what the green screen contest is, it's basically exactly what it sounds like. Ethan acted out some little itty bitty cutie goofy silly little scenarios in front of a green screen so that the audience may edit him into their own creative mini movies. And in this episode, they will hold a tournament of 32 different videos where only 4 will be selected for a cash prize. First place received $500. Second place received $300, and third and fourth place received $100. I'll be telling you who won at the end of this episode as well, so skip that if you want. And now with that all out of the way, Friday's episode began with Ethan expanding on an idea that he and the crew brought forth on the prior Wednesday's episode. And that idea was one that was forked up out of necessity, as their channel is dying, and it's dying relatively fast. They haven't gained a single subscriber in what feels like years at this point, but they are working to fix this issue one step at a time. And they're going to be doing that by uploading important lore-based videos to their YouTube channel, hopefully beginning this week or maybe even by the time that this video is uploaded. These lore-based videos will focus on important inside jokes, stories, members of the expanded or everyday crew, and maybe even some videos that contain nothing but expletives for fans of the more hardcore side of Ethan. While we aren't sure exactly what these videos might look like yet, it is an exciting step forward for the podcast, and it's left many very excited for the future. In other news, Hila is gravely ill and potentially on the verge of comatose as we speak. Ethan later in the episode went on to explain that Hila and the kids are both sick, and that's why she isn't with him for After Dark. Although he isn't sick, despite usually being one of the first in the family to show symptoms of disease. However, Ethan did muster out that he has been having a very sore neck for a few days now, which is indeed similar to being sick. So I will be sympathizing with Ethan Klein on this subject. And after hearing all of this news, I immediately reached out to the Klein family for comment on their current health situations, but I alas received no response and am instead going to be preemptively reporting the worst possible case scenario to you. In more Klein-related health news, Hila had to receive a shot at 2 a.m. Friday morning and again Friday afternoon at 2:30 p.m., which we almost got to witness live on the podcast. However, Ethan was late and we had just missed the shot by the time she was on the phone. Fortunately though, Hila isn't the only one dabbling in medicinal activities. Ethan has volunteered to visit the cum room once again, this time at 8 a.m. because he wishes to come before having his coffee, in his words. Apparently this is an important process in developing their newest little Klein. Please stay tuned for more updates as we cover this very volatile situation. Moving forward into some highly classified information being leaked about White Claw Gabe, we have a story that's truly unbelievable. Gabe called in this Friday afternoon and explained that he will be trying sushi with them for the first time. However, there will be no soy sauce involved, as he does not believe they use it in Japan. He doesn't like the sushi, but he's adamant that he will swallow it all real well for Ethan. The crew at this point becomes skeptical that this may not be Gabe's first swim with sushi, as he seems to be pretty informed about it. But then Dan requests comment from Hassan, who is currently stationed in Japan for a hearty 4-year mandatory military enrollment, and Gabe quickly butts in explaining that it's simply his opinion that they do not use soy sauce in Japan. But I don't know, let me know what you think. The H3 podcast is failing. Their only sponsor left willing to work with them this past Friday was Teddy Fresh, although they are working on getting more sponsors after their image is cleaned up a bit more in the public eye later on. To help with this process, the podcast will be installing a $20,000 tape recorder that supposedly works by allowing a kill switch type button to be pressed, which will then cut the following 30 seconds of footage from airing live, thus preventing Ethan from having any massive slip-ups like he has had in the past. Ethan then shares that Dan was entirely unable to process how the button worked, even after canceling leftovers in order for Dan to spend the day setting it up. However, they have hired a crew that understands the button, and they will be installing it in time for either Monday or Wednesday's episode. And despite being publicly embarrassed, Dan still found the courage to sing. See the clip.
Go, can you hum it for me? Oh yeah. My finger
Chemical
is
brother.
on the brother.
Next up is Jeff Dunham botting. We may have 100% established proof provided by the H3 podcast. So Ethan, what's the problem?
Jeff Dunham passed me on Howie's show. Now his video with 550,000, over 500,000 views, has only 459 comments. Now, if you go back over to the rightful top viewed episode with almost 485, less views by about 70,000, mine has 6,300 comments.
Interesting.
Whoa, Ethan, that was some super compelling evidence. I wonder though, has this guy ever had beef with you in the past? Hopefully I'll have a clip from Friday's episode that could answer just that.
Dude, Blizzard Woofy.
Just messaged it to me.
Do you watch H3 Productions because they mention you a lot?
H3 Productions? Okay, help me, Matt.
Yeah, we know about these guys.
No. Yes, we do. We do? We do.
I know, you don't.
Yeah, I love H3 Productions. Shut up. One of my favorite things to watch. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what he doesn't have any idea.
Bro, you're a ventriloquist, dude. How do you even show your face? You can cut it.
Well, yeah.
Whoa, that's insane. I can't believe that just happened. But what does Ethan think of Jeff?
Okay, you guys know that Jeff Dunham passed me on Howie's podcast? Well, this outrage cannot stand. Jeff Dunham, as we know, is insecure loser. He does his jokes through puppets. Like, if you had any bravery, you would tell these racist jokes through your own mouth, coward. I'm a spicy jalapeno.
Wow. Thanks so much for answering all of my questions, Ethan. You're the best. Moving on, I would like to ask you all to give a big round of applause to Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw, for passing 300,000 followers on Instagram. Wow. Let's take a look at how the crew is celebrating his success.
140 million. Fuck. Congratulations, by the way, to Jimmy Lee, who just hit 300,000 followers on Instagram. That's so exciting.
That's crazy.
These comedians, they all got natural growth.
Yesterday he was at 290.
I feel
Whoa,
bad. I feel bad. I kind of yelled at him yesterday.
Why?
Like over text, because I'm concerned. I don't want him to lose his Instagram. And I'm like, you need to cut the shit, and he's still denying the fact that he's.
Didn't he already admit that someone on his team, quote unquote?
Well, now he's backtracking it.
Oh, he took that back.
So I'm like, cut the bullshit. You're gonna lose your fucking shit if you don't cut this out.
It's all natural. What are you guys talking about?
I was gonna say, have you considered the possibility that he's gaining traction?
I have
10,000 followers a day.
I have considered the possibility, but 2 days ago he was
Truly so impressive. Here's to 1 million, Jimmy. Next up, we have an important update on James Charles. He's basically doing the same thing he's always done, and Ethan talked about it for 20 minutes straight. Amongst the James Charles drama, though, Ethan made a throwback reference to a copyright dispute made against one of his old videos by Maddie B. Here's how that went down.
You know what? One of my very first claim disputes was with Maddie B. Raps.
Oh, wow.
That's why you
Because
have
we did a
grudge.
reaction video to his cover of Biggie Smalls,
I
which
see.
That was
is a travesty.
one of your most legendary videos. in
Thank
my
you, bro.
opinion.
That was the one we went to Jerusalem.
Shortly after this throwback, we got another throwback. But this one was to Ethan's time in Israel when he stuck a piece of gum to the Wailing Wall.
That's got a. You can't play it. It's got a yeah. I played another Biggie song. I was just being as pious as possible. I mean, those guys just pray. I was hugging the whole damn thing.
And they split up the men and the women, correct? So you only had to get like a sniper shot at this.
Well, no. So this is back. There's a place for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Shot for everyone back there. This is from the women's side.
Okay.
She was peeking over. Yeah, they're actually pretty cool. They just let me do my thing. It was kind of a vibe.
They probably thought like you needed God. Like,
That's it. I assumed they thought I just like lost a significant other or something.
Yeah, I mean, people do that unironically all the
Exactly.
time.
People get weird with that wall, man.
Yeah.
Don't people put their wishes in the wall too?
Yeah, there's tons of little papers in there.
Yeah.
I put gum on it.
That won't do, Ethan. Moving on, we have some incredibly life-shattering news about Shirtless Eddie. Apparently, the H3 subreddit managed to piece together a vast display of movie and TV scenes that Eddie has played a role in bringing to life. Here they are.
Yeah, the subreddit's been lit up with Shirtless Eddie cameos. He's a prolific extra, and actually we have the receipts here. Tim and Eric, Zone Theory, Foo Fighters music video, 116 million of, there he is. Oh yeah, he has lost a lot of weight. Good for Shirtless Eddie. Here he is in Garden's Thy Mission music video. And he even has like a significant role here with the camera in his hand. Here he is in Weird Al movie, right here. Once again, evil stepmom kicks out daughter. Oh, this is Darman. Mm-hmm. That's him?
Yeah.
Wow. So shout out Darman. That's exciting. Parks and Rec. This man has made his moves, dude. Parks and Rec. iCarly. Wow. He goes way back.
He's emoting the most in that screenshot.
Yeah, he's
the perfect extra.
He is sucking. He is slaying that scene, I think. Bad Trip, that's the Eric Andre movie that came out recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another beautiful extra there. And so he's all over the place. So Shirtless Eddie, a prolific extra.
And our final story of the day comes from a brand new video involving Kyle from Nelk. And it's honestly way too hard to... And our final story for the day comes from a brand new video involving Kyle from Nelk. And it's honestly very hard to explain what's going on, so I'm just going to show it to you now.
Weekly Crew.
I'm gonna go rip a dart.
Kyle tells Theo Von he needs a gay assistant. Hilarious. You guys ready for this? There's a lot to unpack here, actually. I'll play it through, and then we can kind of dissect it.
Is it right now?
Okay.
I feel like I have the best assistant.
Really?
He's gay and Brazilian.
Oh, wow.
I think gay males make the best assistants. Wow. Not to be like sexist or anything, but like he can pick up shit. Like he's still a guy.
Yeah.
So like if you have a female assistant, they'll use the female card sometimes and be like, yo, I'm not picking up that box, like type shit. Yeah. So you got the guy aspect. He's strong. He can do all that shit. But then if you're like sick or some shit, the feminine side comes out and he'll, he's asking me, do I want soup? Do I want tea with honey? So you got that perfect balance of like the male, female.
How tender of a gay male could you have?
So he's like the gay guy too, where like, I think he's honestly like transphobic and shit too.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, he doesn't like guys that like paint their nails and shit too.
Yeah.
So we can still like rip on gay people in front of him.
Yeah.
So like, we don't gotta change the way we talk and shit around him too. Like I think he's anti-pride and shit.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like a special type of gay guy.
I like that, dude.
Yeah.
Theo is trying to get out of that.
Yep, that surely was something. Anyway, the second half of the episode centered around the green screen contest. All of the entries were incredible, but only one was crowned the best of them all. Here's a short clip of the winning video. Well, that is all for today's show. I've never made any kind of video content before, so hopefully this wasn't too hard to watch. Thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow with updates on Monday's podcast, episode H3TV number 68.